Next up at CES 2023 is ASUS. Now, ASUS has a lot of products that are in segments that you might not expect ASUS to be in. They actually have a new chair. They have new keyboards and mice that actually look really promising. And of course, there's always graphics cards, motherboards, and everything else you'd expect from them. So let's take a look around this booth here at the Venetian CES 2023. Let's go.
BPS Custom's coverage of CES 2023 is powered by Thermaltake and their new Series 500 cases. Available in black or snow options, Thermaltake gives you the power of airflow and performance with 4 included ARGB fans and massive radiator support. There's also option for an LCD side panel upgrade that displays system info, weather, time, and more. Check out these stylish new Series 500 TG cases available January 4th, and thank you to Thermaltake for making this video possible.
A few years ago, we were at CES and saw ASUS come out with the first 360 Hz monitor, and if that's just not fast enough for you, well, they've been listening. This is the new ROG Swift Pro PG24 8QP, and as you can see up here, 540 Hz. Now, 540 Hz is an overclocked speed, and you know, it's just a measly 500 Hz out of the box. But this is something that really is targeted at esports professionals because it's only going to be offered in this 24-inch size. It's a TN panel, and obviously it runs way faster than most people actually need. They have a little demo set up here showing the difference between 540 Hz and 144 Hz. And on camera, filming at really 30 frames per second, you're not really going to be able to see the difference, but I can tell that taking a look between this little soldier guy floating across over there versus over here, it's definitely noticeable. Price point on this, not yet determined. I would expect it to be somewhere in the $600 range. This is, again, only a 1080p panel and only 24 inches. So I'm not sure exactly how many people are going to want one on their desk at home, but for esports people, this is actually the next evolution of the premium monitor. Now, if you guys are tired of every chair on the market looking exactly the same with that gamery aesthetic and only differentiating themselves with little colors or accents, well, maybe this is for you. This is ASUS's new ROG gaming chair. I'm not going to try to pronounce the name because it is kind of weird. Maybe it's the Destrier, who knows? But the main points remain that this is a very interesting evolution of what a gaming chair can be because it is certainly focused on ergonomics and not necessarily on that pure gamer aesthetic. I've since long switched away from the use of a gamer chair in my day-to-day office use and to an ergonomic chair, and it's made a huge world of difference as far as the health of my back. So this is designed with a fully breathable mesh that continues throughout the backrest and on the seat. The armrests are fully adjustable and made of a PU material like you'd find in a lot of cars. And I did ask that because these are fairly soft, if there's any concern about wear. Well, they did say that that is one thing that they tested extensively, and because of the material that's used, and it is a high quality material, that they don't anticipate there being any significant wear issues long term. The adjustability of these is also incredible, as they have a huge range of height, and then they do tilt, swivel, and they can also pivot at full 360 degrees. It has a full die-cast metal frame, and you can see the full adjustable lumbar support here on the back. And again, this is just focusing on ergonomics and overall health. The casters are, again, a PU material, and they're supposed to be good on carpet and hard surfaces. And then the headrest might be the most unique part of this, considering that most gamer chairs really kind of look the same. Now, this headrest was actually designed with the use case that most people will have headphones while sitting here. And that's the reason why it is so wide and not constricting on the head. And the positioning of this is fully adjustable in a whole bunch of different ways, and it's hard to demo with just one hand. But you can go up, down, tilt, swivel, move it all over the place, and even move it this far away from the back of the chair in case you want a different support system for your head and neck. So in a weird twist, I am very excited about a chair from ASUS. This will be coming soon for around $1,000. And check this guy out. This is the ROG Hyperion. Technically, it does have a model name. It's the GR701, but it is an enormous full tower design, and it's not going to be cheap. You're looking at about a $500 case here, but there are definitely some interesting features to this case that I haven't seen on any other enclosure, and it is quite flexible in its use case. So let's start at the top and the exterior with these die-cast aluminum frames. So you can see that it comes down in an X pattern to the front and then extends all the way down to the bottom. So the entire exterior of the case is actually just die-cast aluminum, which is a really premium looking and feeling material. Of course, it also does cost a lot to work with. Now let's circle up to the top here and take a look at this I/O. There are 6 total USB ports. 1, 2, 3, 4 USB 3.0 and 2 USB Type-C. Now these are not 10 gigabytes per second. These are actually full 20 gigabyte per second USB-C, and it's made to work with the ASUS motherboards that have 2 USB Type-C front panel connectors on them, like a lot of the Strix boards do. Taking a look at the interior here, there are also a couple of really cool new features. So this back panel right now that has the Republic of Gamers logo on it is actually removable. You can mount it on your desk. It comes with a little stand, and you could switch up the plate to show different graphics because the LED panel is actually mounted to the back, and you can replace it with something of your own liking. Now, ASUS said that they are going to offer the STL files for 3D printing applications, and you could put whatever you want over here, your logo, your name, the design, anything like that, and it'll light up with the RGB colors according to what you have programmed to that panel. Another option for the space is that you can actually just remove it entirely and place fans along that back wall, up to 3 of them next to the motherboard. The Hyperion is actually going to come with a GPU support bracket, although the one that is going to be featured with the case is not what we're looking at right here. The one that's going to come with the case is actually going to be hidden, so you won't be able to tell that your massive graphics card is actually being held up by something else. It also has a cutout down here to show off your power supply, if you so choose, and with the ROG Thor power supplies having a digital wattage readout on the side, that might be something that you'd want to do. Now, this little compartment down here is actually pretty cool because it slides over to reveal storage compartments. There's a screwdriver in there. You could also store your PCIe slot covers in there, and then hidden compartment for your stuff, maybe a flash drive, maybe an SD card, maybe some drugs or something. Who knows? You can put whatever you want in there. That is definitely an interesting feature. Now, while $500 does sound like quite a bit, and I'm not going to pretend like I'm really in the market for a $500 case, the fact that it is flexible and can do so many different things and is compatible with water cooling setups or air cooling setups and basically anything you'd want to do with it is kind of the mark of what makes a $500 case worth it, is that you just have options. And with the Hyperion, it does appear that you really do have all the options. And then we have another case over here from ASUS. This is the Tough Gaming GT502, and it is ASUS's take on a dual chamber design. Now, what do I mean by dual chamber? Well, you got this one big chamber here for all of your main components, but there is one thing that you see that is missing here, and that, of course, is the power supply. So if you move around to the front of the case, you can see this separate section back here, which is where the power supply is housed, and usually that is tucked in right behind the motherboard. Now, you have seen this kind of design with the wraparound glass look in a lot of other cases to this point, and the most famous obviously being the Lee & Lee 011 Dynamic. So yeah, this is ASUS's take on the 011, but they have made a couple of changes to make it more their style, and they said to improve a few things. The first thing is that they're including these grab straps on the top for easy transport. They said that they are bolted into the frame, so you can pick up a full system with them and there's no problem. I'm not sure how much I would actually use something like this. I don't carry my system around all that much, but they said they do get a lot of requests for these straps, so they are including them on a lot of their chassis. The second thing is that they said that they extended this main chamber a little bit widthwise, so there is more room between the side panel and the motherboard, so that when you mount your graphics card vertically, you have more space between the GPU and the glass, and it's not going to choke off your fans. There's also the Tough Gaming logo kind of stamped into the front steel, and a Tough Gaming branding at the front, lit up by RGB. Now, the I/O on here is pretty basic. You have one USB-C along with 2 USB-A. There are power and reset switches along with a button here, which I assume controls the LEDs, but I'm not going to press it because everything is set up very nicely right now. Inside of here, you could actually see a new AIO strapped to the 13900K. This is the Tough Gaming LC2 360 ARGB. So you can see that it looks kind of like a crate, which kind of goes according to the Tough Gaming design ethos. But other than that, nothing really special. We've got the inline hump up here, and 3 RGB fans, and a 360mm radiator. I didn't get a lot of details about this, so I don't want to speak out of turn, but it's a 360 AIO with RGB fans. Speaking of AIOs, we're going to take a look at the Ryu 3, which is over in the Hyperion, which we didn't talk about before. This uses an anime matrix type display on the top of the pump, and this is also an ASUS Gen 8 pump, the only one on the market as of right now. It uses ASUS's ROG RGB fans, so this is not the same as on the Ryujin, which uses collaboration with Noctua, but these still provide good static pressure, and they look pretty good too. The biggest selling point for me, I think, is the block top. The entire exterior is this really cool, like, knurled aluminum. And then the anime matrix still can display anything you want, including GIFs and system information and photos that you could upload through the ASUS ROG Armory crate. But it is going to display it in this kind of anime matrix style, which is definitely unique and does coordinate with what you see on a lot of their motherboards and on the design language of the Hyperion case. They're also going hard into peripherals. This right here is the ROG Azoth, and it essentially takes a full premium custom keyboard experience and brings it to you at what is a pretty reasonable price for what they offer. So this is going to be $250, and it is essentially like a kind of a compact 10 keyless design. This right here is a full ASUS Live Dash OLED that can provide system information, real-time battery stats, custom GIFs, and anything else. There is a volume roller on the side that also can control media. And the keyboard itself is actually pretty substantial. It is relatively heavy, although the bottom of it does have to be plastic because this is a full wireless solution. So you can use it wired, but they have also integrated this chip, which allows you to have Bluetooth and 2.4 gigahertz wireless connectivity. The Azoth also comes with a full setup for you to do your own switch lubing and modifications because this is a full hot swap board. So it does come with a canister of Crytox 205 grade 0. It comes with a brush, which is, here it is, here. It comes with a brush for switch lubing. It comes with a switch opener, a keycap puller, and a switch puller. It comes with a lubing station, which I don't think I've ever seen a keyboard come with. And like I said, it is fully customizable because it is a hot swap PCB. It also comes with 3 layers of foam and foam under the space bar, stabilizers that actually work pretty well. I was demoing this before and I didn't notice any rattle right off the bat. So this is definitely a really interesting direction for ASUS to go with their peripherals. This is kind of a premium or maybe an entry-level premium keyboard experience for not that much of a price premium over a normal gaming keyboard. And then we have their new mouse. Now this is going to be $160, but probably will compete directly with the G Pro Wireless. This is a 54-gram wireless mouse developed in conjunction with AimLab. And the biggest contribution that AimLab has is this piece of software here, which is called their settings optimizer. Now basically what you can do is run through a whole bunch of software, and instead of having like kind of arbitrary settings as far as what you want your liftoff distance and your DPI to be, this will actually do it for you. So it will save the profile once you are done going through the settings optimizer, and it will make sure that you have the best experience for your mouse. Now, coming separately is going to be their mouse pad, which is called the ROG Hone. And it's nothing special, it's just kind of like your standard, fairly large mouse pad. It does have a centimeter ruler at the bottom, which is going to help you with this setup. But other than that, I think it just kind of feels and plays like a speed pad. It's pretty slippery, actually. Check that out. But the mouse and mouse mat combo is actually very impressive from a manufacturer that's not really necessarily known for producing high-end or lightweight peripherals for gaming. I think there's a lot of stigma going on when you talk about large companies making peripherals that might be competitive in any kind of significant gaming scene. This definitely competes with the G Pro Wireless on a level that I really haven't seen before, and it is definitely an impressive piece of gear. This is called the ROG Harp. I don't even know these names. This is what it's called. So that's a wrap here at ASUS CES 2023. I want to thank them and JJ for showing us around the booth. Thank you to you guys for watching, and thank you to Thermaltake for sponsoring our CES content. Check them out at the link down below. Also, feel free to sound off in the comments about anything that you guys might have seen here. If you have any crazy opinions on any of their new products, make sure to let me know, and I will catch you guys in the next video.